Welcome traders, this is Chris from Elite Currency with a video about cryptocurrency analysis for the upcoming 2 trading days. Alright, let's kick off with Bitcoin versus the US dollar on the daily chart. And I want to focus first of all quickly on the MACD, the ECS MACD at the bottom. As you can see, the lines are slowly but surely between the difference between the orange and the green line here seems to be narrowing. You see the green kind of tilting to the upside here, and I think that sooner or later these will become flat, which will indicate a potential bounce back to the upside. If you see also the MACD lines, they are now thin red rather than thick red, which could indicate that the retracement is finished, just like it did here. For instance, we saw that we had some further correction that could happen here too. So for the moment, it's still early. It's not to say that the downside is for sure over, but signs are looking like that. We can see that price also retraced all the way to the long-term moving average, and it hasn't done that since July 2017. So that looks to be a pretty hefty retracement, and it looks like it made an A basically here like this, A like this, B, and down it went for C. And that correction seems to be completed, and I think that from that point of view, upside is possible. Now, whether this bounce will be the beginning of a new uptrend and that price will break this top, or price will maybe move up but then find resistance and move down again and then up and build a triangle like this, that remains to be seen. But this looks for the moment like a bullish bouncing area when looking at these factors. Now, these tops, these daily candle highs, still remain an obstacle, right? Still a resistance zone up in here. So, and also, don't forget that even here, we have resistance as well, plus up in here. So it is not an easy road to move to the upside, right? We have a lot of levels to be aware of, and it seems like quite difficult space. But I do think that if we get a break here of this resistance, that there could be a good breakout. Don't forget that these could just be minor stopping spots, but ultimately that the price could go through it. So let's see if today's daily candle can actually close bullish and can close above these resistance levels. If it does, and there's a good bullish candle like this towering above that, then I think a retracement of today's candle either tomorrow or the day after and the continuation is highly likely. All right, so that's basically what could happen if we have a good daily candle to the upside. Weekly candle, for the moment, big wick at the bottom, but still bearish, so that doesn't give us much info. 4-hour chart right here, and key resistance trend line to keep an eye on is right here. All right, that's one level to keep an eye on too, because if it breaks above that, even with a good 4-hour candle, that too could signal the bullish breakout right there. If it does, for whatever reason, break below this support trend line, like this, then there could be a bigger correction. There we go, and price could test these bottoms right in here, and these bottoms, of course, this bottom, and probably will bounce. That's what I'm expecting. But for whatever reason, if it does break, then price could go deeper. In that case, I'll put a fib from here to here, like this, and price could go to the -272 target, maybe even the -61.8 target. But it has to break this bottom first of all. And for the moment, as you can see, it doesn't seem likely. If it does, then it could still bounce in this zone for upside. More importantly, though, I think, and more likely at this point, is that it will make a bullish breakout, keeping an eye on 4-hour and daily candles for the moment. All right, Ethereum versus the US dollar, also very deep retracement here, all the way going back to the long-term moving average, and that didn't happen since basically, no, that was not so long ago, December in fact. So maybe I was looking at the daily chart though on Bitcoin for that. 1 second. Probably it was. Yes, that was the daily chart. It hasn't gone back to the long-term moving average, so the retracement is shallower than Bitcoin, and it's finding support sooner than Bitcoin. So relatively, Ethereum doing a little bit better lately, last month or so, with this big upside and a shallower retracement. And this uptrend at this moment looking a bit better, a bit stronger than Bitcoin at this point. So I would say that a break above these tops, like with Bitcoin, could indicate the start of a bullish breakout. If it does break below these bottoms, then it could challenge these bottoms and bounce, I would say. All right, so that's my main focus, is keeping an eye on good 4-hour candles that can break through this resistance levels. I should use red for that, right? So 4-hour candle or daily candle above that could signal the uptrend continuation. In that case, targets, by the way, we can put a fib from here to here, something like that, or from here to here, a 61.8 fib, and the target, minus 272 target at 1600. All right, so if it breaks, of course, this the top, obviously. And last but not least, Ripple XRP versus the US dollar made a very deep retracement. So this could be a little bit more difficult for price to move up, but eventually it could. It will follow probably Bitcoin, I would say. And I would probably be more likely to think that price will make a deeper retracement on Ripple at this moment. So maybe down in here, 61.8, 78.6 fib, could be bouncing spots for a move up to the minus 272 target or the minus 61.8 target. I'm not even thinking about this top for the moment. For the moment, it seems like this ABC is likely, and then we have to see how price responds in this zone before we can make the next step. Will it break this bottom here? Probably not. That's why I think that these fibs will hold. But if it does, yes, then there is potential space for more downside. I would flip the fib around from here to here. And as you can see, there was a 38.2 fib bounce at this fib, right? We hit the minus 272 target, the minus 61.8 target at around, well, it's pretty deep, but it's possible, who knows? But for the moment, it doesn't seem most likely because we hit the minus 272 target already, 78.6 fib. So I think that, oh yeah, and that's something else that could stand in the way, by the way, is this fib, right? 88.6 fib at around 58, all right? But for the moment, I think that actually these fibs will hold and we'll see this upside towards 2 and 230. All right, that wraps up the video for now. Check out more free analysis and free material at elitecurrency.com. Wish you above all good trading and hope to see you soon. Cheers.